Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Ether rank. If you are unfamiliar with the Ether rank, it is an ELO-based ranking that is updated every single week by the lovely Ether. As you can see his little profile right there, and his link will be down below. I highly recommend that you follow him because he does a lot of good work, and we're going to be spending a majority of the time in this video in the top 30, but we do have the top 105 for some reason, so we're also going to be taking a look at this. Now, we're not going to be going over every single player on this list, but there are a couple people that I do want to highlight, starting off with Fire, who's likely the reason that this list is 105 players long, because as you can see, he jumped 170 spots with his win at Jingi number 2, which is 100% deserved. I'm really curious to see how Fire is going to continue doing, because solo main Aegis is kind of a dying breed at this point. Spargo still plays Aegis, but he has Cloud. Shuton still plays Aegis, but he has Olimar. Cosmo still plays Aegis, but now he has Korn and Inkling, and Leo still plays Aegis, but he's got the Joker and the Violet. Fire is solo Aegis, at least to my knowledge, so if he's able to continue getting results for this character, he could definitely become one of the frontrunners for best Aegis in the game, because he's using just Aegis, whereas the other people are needing to switch to secondary characters to deal with some of those more difficult matchups. And I think this list only reinstates that it doesn't really matter what character you're playing. If you are good enough, you can get results in this game. As you can see, Lax is almost top 100 with Chrom. Not solo Chrom, mind you, but mostly Chrom. Toraguri is top 100 with solo Banjo, which is absurd. You're going to have 2 Inkling players in the top 100 with Shiryuki and Showers as well. You have Mezcal top 100 with Ridley. It really does not matter what character you're playing. If you have the talent and you have the knowledge of the game, you will be able to take your character far in a bracket. Jigglypuff as well being on there with Base Mage, and Senra's also been getting really good results, as you can see, being ranked higher than Base Mage. And I do agree that Senra should be the best Jigglypuff in the world right now. Even though Base Mage's run at Terra was incredible, Senra has beaten Aquila before. And honestly, if you've beaten Aquila, especially with Jigglypuff, you're probably the best one. Also, I just forgot to mention Space when I was talking about notable Aegis players that have secondary. So you're going to have Space. He's going to have that Inkling secondary, so another one added to the list. I want to shout out Raflo as well. His run at Terra was really good. His run at SmashCon was really good. Ever since he came back from his little hiatus, he has been looking extremely impressive. It's been mainly Palutena, but he still does have that Samus secondary, which honestly is a leadly lineup. I think he could do some serious damage with that, and he has been doing some serious damage with it. So shouts to Raflo. Didi, I mean, what a player. The fact that he beat a top 5 player in the world, not with his best character, not with his second best character, but his tertiary in Pac-Man is ludicrous to me. Didi is so talented and 1000% would be ranked higher if he just went to more events. I mean, he literally top 8 at SmashCon, which is probably the hardest event of the year to top 8, at least so far. Maybe Kaguribi and Battle BC were a little bit more tricky, but shouts to Didi, very, very talented player. Kronos as well, one of the Snake players that I feel like does not get enough credit, and if I had to guess why, it's because there is a whole lot of them, but Kronos is a very talented player. MVD as well, they're right within the range of each other. Also, I just forgot to mention this earlier on in the video, but as you can see, there's a little point metric right here. This is just how close the players are. It's fairly self-explanatory. It's ELO, just like every other ELO system. At number 62, you're going to have Doramigi, another Japanese prodigy that is emerges here. And I gotta say, I am on to Japan, because there is no way that they are having this many prodigies come out of their region every single year. If you go to the start of 2022 and you said the names Aquila and Mia, no one would know who you're talking about, because they hadn't even been to an offline event by that point. Now, they are both top 3 in the world, and undisputed top 3 in the world, by the way. It is so insane not only how many prodigies are coming out of Japan, but how quickly they are rising to the top, and I think Doramigi is a player that definitely could follow that trend. You're going to have Masa Jr. as well at 60. As you know, his name was formerly Matsunabe, but in tribute of the best Smash Elephant player in the world, Masa, he has changed it, so big shout out to Matsunabe for that. What a heroic thing to do. You're going to have I'm at 56 as well, definitely the best Sheik in the world, at least in my opinion, and Sheik is a character that I actually think has been doing fairly well in 2023. Rock has had some pretty good results. Mr. R was definitely doing better in 2022, but he hasn't had abhorrent results in 2023. He's got some good placements, and I'm has continually been farming. He is just so impressive, this character. Also, Void beat Spargo this year with Sheik, which is obviously a massive win. Okay, editor's note, Mia did have one tournament in 2020, but like, come on. At 55, you're going to have Tsubaki. Now, I would say that he is the best Joker in the world. I just think that MKLeo is a top 10 player that happens to play Joker. Like, when I'm watching Tsubaki play, I'm like, this guy is so good at Joker. When I watch Leo play, I'm like, this guy is so good at the game. It's just a different feeling if you catch what I'm saying by that. But the point is, Tsubaki is very, very good. You're going to have Now over Snow, which I definitely don't agree with. Snow has been by far the best Mario in Japan these past couple months. Though Now did kick off the season definitely stronger, Snow has just been looking super, super good, as well as getting his first top 8 at Maisuma top 14, which I think is going to be a massive momentum shift for him. But also, now did get top 8 of that event as well, so it's not like now has completely fallen off and is getting no results. He is still getting some pretty good placements. I just think Snow has been doing very, very well. You're going to have Lugi and Quick right next to each other, and I won't spend too much time on this because I've been talking about Europe a lot in these past couple of videos, but Europe, very good region, very underrated, and I think they're a region that could potentially not be the worst in the world by the end of 2023. Now, just to avoid repeating myself, I want to shout out Shiny Mark and Hurt, but not talk about them in full because those are players that I've been highlighting a lot as of late, and the reason is because they've been doing very well, so keep up the good work to those guys. Monster, though, that's a player that I don't get to talk about nearly enough, and the reason is because he really doesn't go to any events, but when he does go to events, he does extremely well. Amazing performance at Japan 24, got 9th place at Kagura V10, which was the hardest tournament of the year, at least in terms of points, so overall, incredible player. Would I call him the best Wolf in the world? Probably not, even though he is the highest ranked Wolf on this list. Actually, I think Ouch is above him, but I would still probably have Jackal above him. I think putting him at 3rd is fairly reasonable because the Todie's results have been a little bit more up and down. So if we can see Masha just going to more events, he's a player that I could see easily breaking into the top 30. Like, extremely talented. At 36, you're going to have Big D. I feel like it's been normalized that Big D is a top 30 caliber player in the world with Ice Climbers when this is not a normal thing. Now, is Ice Climbers bad? No. Is Ice Climbers good? They're alright. I feel like Nana is still such an exploitable thing. It's like the biggest weakness I could think of any relevant character at the top level, because obviously Big D is going to make that character relevant by himself. Like, yeah, Aegis, they've got a bad recovery. Snake, his disadvantage isn't great. Sonic, he has no weaknesses, but Ice Climber, if you just kill Nana, that character literally becomes the worst character in the game, and I feel like people are still really, really bad at that. Now, to Big D's credit, he's also insane at keeping Nana alive, and by far the best Sopo in the world. The stuff that he does with Sopo is not okay, so that's the reason that he's having a lot of success, but I'm just saying, Big D being up here is still so impressive, even though the character definitely isn't, like, super bad. Like, it's not Toraguri levels of insane, but still, big ups to Big D. You're going to have Apollo Kage over Dio on this one, barely, only by 11 points, but still on the lumirank, Dio was higher than Apollo Kage by a fairly significant margin. Now, to be fair, they were different metrics, so it's obviously not going to be the exact same, but if you look at the results after the lumirank came out, you're going to have Dio having only an underperformance at Toyota Grand Slam 15, ends up getting 25th at that event, whereas Apollo Kage gets a 9th place at SmashCon, as well as a 9th place at Riptide, which isn't, like, great, but also, he got 9th place at SmashCon. Like, that's definitely going to get you some major points. So who is the best stake in the world? It's kind of tough to tell. If I had to pick, I would probably go with Hurt. Then you're going to have Quid as well. Again, like Didi, if he just was going to more events, he would be ranked way, way higher. But he doesn't, so he's not. You're going to have Siski just shy of the top 30. I think Siski's definitely a top 30 caliber player. I don't know if he's the best Samus right now, but if I had to say between him and Yara, his results have been looking very, very good. Overall in 2023, I would probably still go with Yara. You're also going to have Siski underperforming at SmashCon, which definitely doesn't help. But outside of SmashCon, his past couple events have been looking spectacular. So keep up the good work, Siski, because you are farming. Really quick editor's note before moving on to the top 30. I don't know why I said Hurt was the best snake in the world. I just misspoke. What I meant to say was Kanaji. At 26, you're going to have Yara, and even though I mentioned earlier on that there's definitely a conversation between Yara and Siski for the best Samus right now, Yara is unarguably the best Samus throughout the entirety of 2023. He has just been consistently incredible, so huge ups to him for taking that title. You're going to have Meister at 25. Meister's a player that does not get his flowers nearly enough. That's probably just because Mia has been doing so well, as well as Game Watch being the easiest character in the game. But Meister is extremely talented and has some crazy results this year. I mean, that collision run is so good. He has a really nice run at low tide. His Battle of BC performance is incredible. He does have a couple inconsistencies here and there, but overall, I think Meister is a very, very talented player. I'm also really curious to see if he is ever going to really invest into the Sora. Like, he has no reason to, because Game Watch isn't the character that you need secondaries for, and Sora is a really hard secondary, but I just kind of want to see more Sora at the top level because I think that character is really good. So Meister makes some magic happen. SkyJ, I mean, I talked about earlier on how we didn't talk about Big D enough for playing Ice Climbers at the top level, and we have SkyJ in the top 25 with Incineroar. This game literally makes 0 sense. Like, Smash Ultimate is the only game where you can have a character that isn't even top 40 still compete at the roughest and most competitive level of play. Now, to be fair, most games don't even have 40 characters, but you get the point that I'm going for. You're going to have Kurama at 23. Now, Kurama does have an underperformance at SmashCon, a pretty massive one at SmashCon, getting 65th there, but also half of the top 30 bombed out at SmashCon, like, didn't even do bad. Bombed out, so I'm honestly not too worried about that. And he's overall very talented player. I feel like he gets left out of a lot of conversations when we're talking about America's best. Obviously, you're going to throw in Tweak, Light Zama, those guys have been incredible. DeBuzz and Beauties have been looking really good. Pocket's amazing, but Kurama, he's getting left out of a lot of these conversations. Legends, even though he's among the caliber of all of those players I just mentioned. He is very, very good at this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if he picked up his first major win soon, because it's going to happen inevitably. Also, there's the conversation between him and Snow. He's definitely still the best Mario for now. I think Snow can take that title, but he's going to have to put in a lot of work. You're going to have Pocket at 22. Now, he hasn't been going to as much stuff as he has in 2022, but still, he has been pretty incredible all year round. He has that amazing run at Crown, has been farming literally every single regional event that he goes to. Does have an underperformance at SmashCon, but like I mentioned, most players underperformed at SmashCon, so I'm not honestly too worried about that. In Pocket, I still think very highly of him. I think if he was going to more events, he'd be ranked even higher. Going to have Osimo at 21. Now, Osimo, he's been getting a little bit of inconsistencies in his path these past couple months, but overall, his year has still been very good, and he's still been looking incredible. Got that second place at Altcore very recently, where he was able to take his first ever set off Mia. That record is abysmal, by the way. It's like 114, 113, something that is very, very bad, but Osimo's adaptation is still incredible. Even if it takes him 11 sets to figure it out, he's gonna figure it out. I can guarantee you that. At number 20, you're going to have Mutace, and honestly, I don't really ever care where Mutace is ranked on rankings just because he's such a good player. When he's playing at his peak, he's arguably the best player in the world, but also, he's not always playing at his peak. Peach is just a naturally inconsistent character because she's the hardest character in the game, especially the way that Mutace is playing her, and there's so many external factors for Mutace as well that just make it very difficult for him, but he has recently been investing into his Palutena, finally, and I think this is going to help out with his consistency issues a lot, because he can play Palutena in his pools, he can play Palutena whenever he comes across a weird low-tier matchup, and it's easier on his hands, way easier on his hands, so he's going to be a little bit more rested. He has to think way less. He can just bread and butter top player people, because he's going to be top playering 99% of the players in this game. Like, most people, Mutus is just going to be naturally better than, so he can whip out his Palutena and beat them in those matchups, but I think it's going to help his consistency a lot. Honestly, he's been a lot better in these past couple months. Like, since the Japan trip, he's only had one massive underperformance at Gateway Legends, at least that I can think of, and that wasn't even at the major level, so big ups to Mutus. Clearly the work that he's been putting in has been paying off. Also, I want to say this for Zachary as well. I feel like it's kind of the same thing. Doesn't really matter where Zachary is being ranked, because right now he's playing Pit, so how good would he be the Joker? I honestly have no idea. And also, he's got like 4 events, 2 of them he bombed out at, and the other ones that he got 3rd place at, so Zachary, really tough player to rank as well. Editing proof block here, Mutus got 9th place at Gateway Legends, so it isn't even that big of an underperformance, but he was the first seed, so it just seems like a bigger deal at that event. And then since then, his worst placement, since Japan trip, his worst placement has been 13th place at CEO and a 17th place at SmashCon, which is ludicrous. At 19th, you're going to have Ken. Sorry for skipping over you there, but he's been doing very good as of late. These last 2 events, he was able to top 8 both SmashCon and Delfino Mazza, and I wonder why this is. Maybe it's because he's got a new workout routine, maybe he's on a new diet, maybe he started reading a little bit more, or maybe it's because instead of playing Sonic and Sephiroth, he just plays Sonic, a top 2 character in this game that loses no matchups. I'm not saying he should fully abandon the Sephiroth. I'm just saying when he went solo Sonic, because to my knowledge at least, he went solo Sonic at both SmashCon and Delfino Mazza. And I know in the matches that it actually mattered, he was going Sonic in. So, shocker, he's playing more Sonic and he's doing better. I'm just saying, it makes a little bit of sense. You're going to have DeBuzz at 17 as well. DeBuzz, I mean, he is back in full for 2nd place at SmashCon. He won CEO, 4th place at Kagurabi, and he's doing it with like 90% Rosalina. Like, Olimar's putting in a little bit of work. Minmin doesn't really put in any work, but I do like to still mention it. But it's majority Rosa. It doesn't make sense that he's doing this well, because that character is bad. Like, just straight up. Rosalina is not good, and DeBuzz is crazy. Also, so people don't yell at me, she's not like bad, she's just like mid-tier. At 16th, you're going to have Bloom Forever, which I think is absolutely fine. I think he proved himself at Terra, because a lot of people were probably like, Bloom shouldn't be this high. He has no good performances at a major, which is definitely a valid criticism. If all of your good results are at a regional, and your only major result is a bad one, maybe you shouldn't be ranked super high. But Bloom said, you know what, shut up, I'm very, very good at this game, does amazing at Terra, ends up getting 5th place at that event, beating Zomba, who is one of, if not the best player in America as of right now. So big ups to Bloom for that. He is just so good. You're going to have T at 15, and I'm still been saying this. T has been underperforming in 2023, and he is still top 15 in the world. This guy is built different. He set a very high standard for himself, and I think that is a standard that he can get back to. I don't know if he needs to play more Kazuya. I don't know if he needs to just play Pac-Man. Honestly, that might be the answer, because I think Pac-Man is really, really good, and Kazuya is a character that I think is starting to fall off. But T, overall, incredible player, and even though he hasn't been doing as well in 2023, I mean, he's still top 15 in the world. The results speak for themselves. At 14th, you're going to have Yoshidora. He has single-handedly brought this character into the limelight. And there are other good Yoshis. Ron's really good. Mei's really good. But Yoshidora is Yoshi. I mean, it's literally in the name. Also, it's funny that Sonic's is the best Sonic and Yoshidora is the best Yoshi. But anyways, Yoshidora doesn't have an amazing performance at Terra. And he has had a couple inconsistencies here and there. But he's from Japan. I can excuse those. Overall, he's been an incredible player throughout this year. Does very well at Battle of BC as well. Taking out a handful of invaders at that event. I mean, not invaders at that event, but invaders to him. So big ups to Yoshidora, amazing year. 13th is going to be Proto Bonham. There's not really much to say here. He'd probably be higher if he was going to stuff. Should he be ranked 13th? Absolutely not. He should be an honorable mention because he's had like 2 major events, I think, this year, but also he top 8 at both of them. So Proto Bonham, you can rank him wherever you want because we all know he's real good. At number 12, you're going to have Zomba, who is definitely going to be top 10 by the end of the 2023 ranking season, at least if he keeps up the way that he's been playing. I don't know if I would call him the best player in America like I have been right now because he does have that underperformance at Smash Factory, but he's the highest placing American at Smash Factory, at least for people that are in contention for the best American, because that's going to be between him, Light, and Tweak. And DeBuzz did place higher, but I wouldn't have him in that conversation. He's going to be the lowest placing American at Terra, and really it's that underperformance at Smash Factory that's kind of kicking him in the nuts right now. But outside of that, he has been spectacular, so keep up the good work, Zomba. You will be top 10 by the end of the ranking season. I can guarantee it. Maybe even top 5. Not unrealistic, to be honest. You're going to have Shootone at 11. Now, Shootone, I think he could be top 10. I think him being just outside of the top 10 is also fine. Amazing player. I would still say that he's the best Aegis in the world right now. He does have a couple of inconsistencies this season that we don't usually see from him, but recently he's been cleaning a majority of those up. And on the end of the day, the main problem for Shootone is going to be the fact that he can't close out these super major events. And he needs to if he wants to be a top 5 player, a top 3 player. Because I do think that Shootone can reach that potential. I mean, he's literally reached that potential before. He was top 5, I believe, on the first ever PGR for this game. So he definitely can do it again if he can close out these super major events. Because he's gotten a lot of thirds, he's gotten a lot of top 8s, but he just hasn't been able to make it into the grand final. So the second that Shootone wins a super major, it's over for everyone. Also, I know Shootone's won super majors before, but I mean post-quarantine. Our first player in the top 10 is going to be Riddles. He's got that 17th place at Defender North, which is pretty good. Most notably, though, he's got that 5th place at Gommel, top 8ing to the winner's side of the bracket. Such an amazing run from him there. He does have an underperformance at Evo, ends up getting 129th there, but also it's Evo. A lot of people are going to do bad at that event, so I can excuse it. And Riddles overall, I just think he's a very quick learner, and he's going to continue getting better and better. Already one of the best Luke players in the entire world, so huge shouts in for that. The work has definitely been paying off. You're going to have Kameme at 9th. He's one of the only players, and by one of the only players, I mean literally the only player that can prove my Sora copium. I think Sora is top 10, and Kameme makes it look like this character is top 10. And he's still not even doing the insane broken Sora combos yet. He's just doing the simple, neutral-based Sora, bread and butters. It's like Fundy Sora, and he's top 10 in the world because this character is still ridiculous. Amazing out of shield game, some of the best kill confirms options in the entire game, insane combo routes at the wazoo, such good stalling potential. Sora is just such a broken character, and Kameme is really good at highlighting it. At number 8, you're going to have Leo. Now, since there's no Mexican majors, at least for the foreseeable future, it's going to be a while before we see MK Leo again in tournament. Honestly, I don't think this ranking really matters for him, though I do think it is correct. It's just he's taken a step back. He's clearly not taking the game as seriously right now, so I think a break is going to be good to reset the mental, maybe find that passion again. And when he comes back, I think it's going to be very interesting. Is he going to be playing Joker? Is he going to be playing Aegis? Is he going to be playing Byleth? Is he going to be playing Ike? Is he going to be playing Meta Knight? All of these are very likely possibilities, and he could be the best player in the world when he comes back. He could be the exact same, or he could be worse. I honestly have no idea, but whatever happens, I'm just excited for whenever Leo makes his return. You're going to have Light at 7th, which I think is correct. He's been doing pretty good as of late. That win at Shine was obviously mass for him, and Light at Regionals has just been very good this year. I mean, he won MomoCon, he won Shine. He's got a very good placement at Terra, even though Tweak does beat him out there, and I do agree that Tweak is the best player in America, at least throughout all of 2023. He's still been looking incredible this season, so Light at 7th, absolutely justified. Also, I just want to point out how close the points are between Light, Sonics, Gluttony, and Tweak. 20 points separating all 4 of these players. And even though I definitely think that Light is the 7th best player in the world right now, all it would take is 1 or 2 good performances over these players to have him ranked as top 4 in the world. He is still very, very good. Sonics has been pretty much flawless throughout this entire year, except SmashCon. That performance is definitely going to hurt, but everything else has been literally perfect, so keep up the good work. Gluttony as well has been amazing. He has reclaimed Europe dominantly. He wins King of Fields. He wins Terra, surfs off all of the invaders, as well as getting a 2nd place at Delfino. Mazza Tweak has been looking pretty good as of late. That 2nd place at Terra, I think, is going to be very important for him, because for a long time, since Let's Make Big Moves, no, since Level Up Expo, Tweak has not been able to get top 4 at a major event. It's been a lot of 7th places and a lot of 9th places. It's not any bad placements, but it's it's not any super high placements that you would expect him to get. Now that he gets that at Terra, I think that's going to be a massive barrier that he's broken, and we're going to see him a lot more in these grand finals. And you have our top 3 players in the world, and these are the top 3 players in the world. There is no argument for it. Don't even try. They are the top 3, and I think this order is correct too. Mia at 3rd, Spargo at 2nd, and Akala at 1st. And if I had to be honest, I think the gap between Spargo and Mia is smaller than the one between Spargo and Akala. Just because Spargo's 49th at SmashCon, it really does hurt him. And also, Mia's 49th at Kagurabi ain't so bad anymore. Spargo's got the same thing, and Mia's 13th at Umebora also ain't so bad because Spargo's got a 13th at Summit. They have matching bad placements, and they have similar peaks. I will say Spargo is definitely still ahead of Mia right now because his peaks are higher, winning 2 P-tier events, but Mia has also won way more events than Spargo, so I think that's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out towards the end of the season. And I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret right now. I think Mia is going to be the best player in the world by the mid-2024 area, so just be on the lookout for him to be able to take that #1 spot. But for now, it definitely still goes to Akala. He has not had a bad placement since literally ever, so keep up the good work, Akala. 100% the best player in the world. It's not even really close right now, and I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. The support has been absolutely unreal. If there's a player that I left out, something that I got wrong, or if you just want to say hi, please leave a comment down below. Again, huge shout outs to Ether for making this. Please, please, please go follow him. His link will be down below, and that's all I gotta say. Be sure to sub, all that yada yada, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.